Now, going over to the political part podcast, you have the White House admitting that deep state is real and will try to block RFK Jr. As a wise man once said, yesterday's conspiracy theories are today's reality. Now, this comes to us thanks to the best, I would say the best reporter bar none, James O'Keefe. Says, quote, deep state is real. White House advisor reveals how bureaucrats protect its own interests, predicts bureaucracy will crush RFK Jr. for HHS. If given order, I would try to resign or block it. And again, go to James O'Keefe's profile. It's James O'Keefe 3 on X. It's about 15 minutes long. We'll watch like the first minute or two to get the gist of it. But yeah, definitely go to his profile for the full story. And this is undercover reporter interviewing Byron Cohen, who's a White House advisor, Office of Pandemic Preparedness and Response Policy. Which, fascinatingly enough, he does not have short pink or blue hair. So I mean, it's kind of a shocker to me.
People joke about the deep state, but like to some degree it's real because they have ways that they can slow things down or block you without you realizing it.
Meet Byron Cohen, an advisor at the White House.
RFK Jr. is a very bad pick for HHS. There's a good chance that the bureaucracy just crushes him.
The fact that so many traditional politicians hate RFK Jr. just makes me love him even more. Again, he says some crazy stuff I don't agree with, but overall, can't help but think RFK Jr. is on point, and also there's a reason he's never been sued by Fauci for the books he's written about him.
Is there anything that you're gonna do?
I would consider like slowing things down.
I can't really think of anyone who I would less rather have be president.
Can you give me an example of like how you think they'll do it when RFK gets in?
One thing you might be able to do to like sort of make him think like something is happening when it's not.
The White House advisor explains how the administrative state creates deceptive commissions to hinder executive decisions.
One of the ways you can slow things down in a bureaucracy is you can commit to studying something. Put together like a commission. Mr. Secretary, we're going to put together a commission to study the safety of fluoride in water. Mr. Secretary, we're going to put together a commission to study vaccine safety. And we'll let you know when the report comes out. And he'll be like, yes, great. And then years will pass and nothing has happened. A sophisticated bureaucrat can do a lot to run around an unsophisticated political appointee.
Byron says that when it comes to certain policy positions, subverting the will of the people is justified.
Would it be subverting the will of the people to crush RFK or block him or whatever?
For the most part, the American people don't actually agree with RFK's views on things like vaccines. So,
I don't know about that.
I mean, in a literal sense, if you were like blocking something he was trying to do to undermine vaccines, you are probably acting in a way that is consistent with what the majority wants.
Bullshit. Again, this is, so you titled this OMG investigates dating the deep state 2025, which part of me always feels bad for these guys because Lord knows dating is hard enough as it is in 2025. I also don't think it's coincidence. Every time there's an undercover reporter, especially the James O'Keefe or Louder the Crowder, it's always a moderately attractive gal who'll get these guys to spill their guts, which, again, spoiler, or this should just be common sense. If you're a guy talking to a girl who's more attractive than you, there's usually, not always, but there's usually ulterior motives. In this case, data mining. And these guys are so dumb, they'll just spill their whole guts to the most obvious questions. We're like, again, everyone talks about their job. That's obviously natural. But to ask these type of very specific questions, like, again, I feel bad. They probably found them on Hinge or Bumble or one of these apps. And again, just finding a girl on there that doesn't have a nose ring or a cow ring on is hard enough as it is. But yeah, let's just, again, part of me feels bad because these guys are desperate, or, they're trying to find a date, which, yeah, Lord knows I've seen these dating apps, and there's a great way to lose faith in humanity, see what's on there these days. And yeah, it's the number one way these guys get busted. Now, the upside of the situation, I'm really happy that this video is coming out, so then RFK Jr. and the Trump administration can see, yeah, and by now they should know. I mean, Trump has been in office once already. They should know the deep states are going to push back as hard as possible. Let me know in the comments, but I think the best thing that Trump could do is just fire every federal employee. Do it. Fire them all, and then get some job openings out there, and rehire again. Because again, there's so many deep state SOBs like this guy. There's also a lot of like long-term federal employees who just don't want to work at all, kind of like a union member for the most part. Like, I think that'd be the best way for actually Trump to start off on a strong footing. I know that'd be very difficult, but I think it'd be worth it. Now, this went pretty viral. Got 2 million views and 35,000 likes. Again, for the whole video, go to James O'Keefe profile, which his profile on X is James O'Keefe 3, or 3, the Roman numeral. Now, James O'Keefe says, quote, "They joke about the deep state, but to some degree, it's real," admitted Brian Cohen. He tagged him too, an advisor to the White House Office Pandemic and Preparedness. And the guy also deleted his LinkedIn. Oh, I only got 2,500 friends. And it's gone. How do you not have more friends on the LinkedIn, man? Those are Trump numbers. You gotta get them up. Add those friends every day. Now, going down to the comment section, one of the first ones comes from James Lasher saying, quote, "It's great to have them admitting this on camera, but they are just confirming what people pay attention to already know. I'm not sure it ever convinces those people who keep pushing for more and more government for control, but never give up the fight. Excellent work as usual." Now, that's concerning is that leftists would actually praise this individual and say we want more of those employees because, again, they want more big government. Scrolling down more and more, you have Libercat Media TM doing the meme from The Office. Jim looking at the whiteboard says, quote, "When a Democrat says threat to our democracy, they really mean threat to their corrupt bureaucracy." Getting 448 likes. Paul Zupa says, quote, "Conspiracy theorists continue to be flawless." Getting 273 likes. Yep. Scrolling down more and more. AJ Hooper says, "Brian Cohen, deep state is real. James, you're going to become real famous. Famous is real." He's already really famous. Yeah. Let's see here. Scrolling down more and more. David Sullivan, "I will respect his pronouns. His pronouns are prosecute Fauci." Says, quote, "That's what we expect Trump to dismantle." And there's an AI generated picture of a dog, or the Doge dog with a chainsaw. The chainsaw is labeled Department of Government Efficiency, standing in front of DC saying it's time for some cutting. Getting 187 likes. You have Ken DeLay saying, quote, "The answer to the issue is the 1978 Civil Service Reform Act. With a EO from the president, they can remove PPP protection and make unfireable bureaucrats fireable." Getting 117 likes, which, yeah, I know Vivek actually said during his presidential campaign that he thought he would just fire, half the federal employees by random, or, and I think he even floated the idea of just firing them if they were a even versus odd social security number. That way, again, you're not discriminating. You're just saying half the government employees, get rid of them, which I think we should start. I mean, if you can just cut half, that's a good starting point. Crooked Joe says, quote, "This is treason. Enough playful, nice, and sugarcoating it. Call it what it is, and make an example of the likes of which make people shudder, and thought of going down the same path as this traitor." Getting 472 likes, which, yeah, they should definitely. I mean, we used to actually, try, should put people on trial for treason. But again, if you're a leftist, you get away with anything. Brian Cohen also locked down his profile on the X. He only had 292 followers. Not to brag, but I have 270 followers on X Twitter, The Topping Show. Let's see. Yeah, pretty much everyone just agreeing. Brett has the meme of Dave Chappelle doing the "gotcha, bitch," getting 16 likes, which is probably the worst Dave Chappelle impression of all time. But nevertheless, I went for it. Liz G also says, "Is there a single honest person in Washington, D.C. other than Trump and his team?" Getting 228 likes, which it's probably 3 of them, maybe 4 if you're optimistic. Sailor Jim says, quote, "These are the morons who have been running a government. They think they know best. They have kids as advisors." Getting 22 likes. A lot of people having memes saying "drain the swamp," which hopefully he does. Brandon Kamawu says, quote, "He calls treachery sophistication. This is reprehensible. Why are we 36 trillion in debt again?" Getting 150 likes. Well, that's also because of the ineptitudes and or corruption of Republicans and Democrats just spending more and more money and not living within our means. I personally think it's the goal of the national debt is to sabotage our country. Again, they just keep spending way too much money. I mean, shoot, when Biden was in office, the U.S. was wasting $500 million to the World Health Organization, an organization that doesn't do a damn drop of good for the average American. But again, not too surprising. Again, great undercover reporting by James O'Keefe, and hopefully we see more of it. And let me know in the comments if you think these type of reports, again, do you think they're just confirming what people already think on the right? Or do you think this new information is actually changing over and winning hearts and minds of people over who didn't realize this type of corruption exists in the government? Let me know, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, try to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you can click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone Just stay safe and fight the good fight.